I don't know, most people that are familiar with John and myself, especially these past almost 7 to 10 years, probably wasn't a day that I went without speaking to him and usually seeing him 7 days a week, whether it was work or him just asking what I was doing to come to the house for a grill out. There used to be a lot of concerts that we went to. I seen more shows with him than anyone else I can think of. And there was a crew of us that all used to go and see Scholar's Word and then to I-Vibes. And most of my siblings, Jason Valone, all got in regardless of their age. Whether it was to carry a drumstick in or whatever, they were part of the band. And his family as well, and always will be. John, everyone that met John called him their brother. So much so that when he would meet other people and introduce me as his brother, they would ask, his real brother, or like, it's his brother, his bro. But you know, he would always let him know that I was his real blood brother, and always made that clear to everybody. Like my sister was saying, he was the protector of everything that he possibly could. He wanted to protect everybody, wanted to take care of everybody. He would go without to help, and a lot of people just they loved that about him. They felt a comfort in him instantly, and he no matter what they were going through, he would do his best to ease their pain and their problems they were dealing with at that point, whether it was shooting darts or just coming over for a cookout and blasting his radio with whatever music wanted to be played, watching his motorcycle videos. All of his friends that I see out here, they all know I was there through all the parties you guys had, all of them for the most part. And if it wasn't, it was probably just because I was sick. Otherwise, I was always there. And my two boys slept on his couch more than they probably did their own beds for the most part. Not by their mother's choice, but she always knew that they were safe and where they were when I mentioned I was at John's, and she didn't worry, except for when they got into school and they needed to be home before 2 o'clock in the morning. But I told her they were sleeping, so they were fine. A lot of the times they weren't sleeping though, and they were still jamming out with us and hanging out, throwing darts, whatever we were doing. And my two boys, as they got bigger, they really embraced John and his kids. The second we'd walk in the door, as they were tagging behind me, his kids were pushing me out of the way, asking where Cameron and Riley were. And if they weren't with me, then they just accepted it was me and couldn't wait for Uncle Timmy to torture them. That is my job with all my nieces and nephews. But he took a piece of me with him. I think just purposely did that because I know he couldn't be without talking to me, and I wish he would have okayed some of that with me before he took this part. But I look at it as he took the bad and the negative away from me, and has given me a different way of looking at life and relationships and the way you handle situations. Love is a word that gets used loosely a lot, and when he told you he loved you, you knew he meant it. He was not the type that just threw that word around. Everyone was his brother or his sister, but when he told you he loved you, it was because you affected him and touched him. And I know many of you out here, if not all, that especially lived with him and all had your own special alone time with him. And most people, not that they didn't want me to be there, but when I wasn't there, I feel that they were like that they could get some more of John's attention, because his attention was fought for by a lot. His kids, his wife, everybody that was around him wanted to be involved in his conversation, what he was doing, where he was at. And the bond that me and him had, I was saying I thought could never be broken, and felt that it was broken, but it is a bond that will never be broken. I will think about him every day, multiple times a day. I leave his helmet after I got it right next to my bed table, so the second I roll out of bed, he gets my first thought in the morning. And through these past few days, my phone has been going off, and every morning before when my phone would go off, it was always him that was the first person that texted me. And sometimes it was just, yo, sometimes it was, what are you doing, or how come you're not at work yet? That was a lot of them. And he knew I probably hadn't even left the house yet. But he would open his door to me from the time he was 12 years old, and I was told to come home by 10, and came home whenever I wanted, and the door would be locked, and I didn't want my parents to know what time I came in, so I woke him up all the time so he could sneak me in the window. And then I would tell my parents, hey, I got home at 10:30, and it was definitely never like that. It was always hours after that, and up until to the present day, I could tell him at 3 o'clock in the morning that I was sitting at the boat ramp, and his response was, why are you not at my house?